Hello, celebrity gossip enthusiasts. I'm Us Weekly's entertainment director, Travis Cronin, and you're listening to Us Weekly's Hot Hollywood podcast. Well, we'll be breaking down all of the hottest, most ridiculous, and fun celebrity news of the week. Luckily, I have my two co-hosts to help me break it all down. My two co-hosts who are barely hanging on after awards season. Queen of the red carpet dress, Gwen Flamberg.
Oh gosh, that's me. I'm so exhausted. 1 month till Met Gala.
And Queen of backstage mess, Sarah Huron.
Oh my God. I mean, the Grammys had nothing on the Oscars, but I am with Gwen. I am still so tired. I don't think I got over the slap yet.
Agreed. The slap emotionally and physically took a toll on all of us. Well, we have lots of more slap happy celebs coming up. We have secret sham marriages, Elvis impersonators, Oscars disciplinary committees, Spider-Man's breaking up with the same woman, and a man who was arrested because someone was singing Shallow at karaoke. But let's start with our woes of the week. These are the stories that just made our co-hosts just take a pause and go, what is life? What am I? What are we all doing here? Sarah Huron, what made you go whoa this week?
Well, in case you forgot about our girl, Miss Christina on the Coast, Christina, formerly El Muso, Christina, formerly Anstead, then to go back to her born name Christina Hack, is now Christina Hall. Are you confused? That's okay. Christina of Flip or Flop fame is married for the third time. She married Joshua Hall, and this was like a secret wedding. It's still kind of unclear when exactly the vows were exchanged and the license was changed, but her real estate license does indeed say Christina Hall now. And she married this guy, Joshua Hall. They went public with their relationship in the summer, but then we found out that they had known each other for a while, and she posted some sort of anniversary thing in March for at least a year. So they've been together for a minute, and she decided, it was time to get married for the third time in her 40 years of life, and to get a new spinoff, Christina in the Country, you guys, all about her life in Tennessee, where she bought a vacation home. And of course, her new husband will be front and center. So she's got a new husband, a new show, wrapped Flip or Flop. I mean, keeping up with Christina Hack is a full-time job.
She's sort of like the version of like the woman who marries men for money and then waits for them to die and takes it, except she marries men for new TV spinoffs. So she's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to marry him. I get a new show, marry this guy, get a new show. Sort of, I stand a little bit. I say all the time, I've never watched HGTV in my life. Like, I don't even know who these people are, but any sort of link to Selling Sunset, the Tart, like I am all in on being from afar. And I also, always want to take a time to point out that Joshua Hall, if you don't know who he is indeed the brother of Stacy, the bartender from The Hills. And that just cannot get lost. It never can. So I'm here to remind all of us that that's who Joshua Hall is. Christina Hack is married. The Brady Bunch continues. God knows what's going to happen next. God, and Stephanie, the bartender.
Stacy the bartender.
Stacy the bartender. I never thought I'd hear that name again. Wow. Thank you for that. Gwen Flamberg, what made you go whoa this week? I hope it has something to do with a D-list third string Hills star who came in to cause trouble for 2.5 episodes.
Do you know me, Travis? Have you met me? Marrying for a reality show is very 2022. And speaking of 2022, as opposed to the days of yore, I just died when I saw Dua Lipa hit the red carpet at the Grammys. I mean, the dress in and of itself was like, I was like, mop me up off the floor. She was Us Weekly's best dressed. Go to usmagazine.com/stylist to see our top 5 best dressed of the night. And of course, all the looks on the red carpet. She was wearing vintage Versace, but I did a little digging, and that exact same dress was the dress that Cindy Crawford wore to the VMAs it was
92. It's got to be 92.
1992. It was 30 years ago, you guys.
That dress is older than me.
Yeah, Gianni collection.
Shut up. Yes, it was Gianni Versace's Miss S&M collection in 1992. Cindy had seen it on the runway and asked Versace to borrow it for the VMAs. Of course, she wound up with that dress in her closet.
And that means that Lady Gaga also wore that dress in the Marry the Night music video. That dress has gotten around.
So there are a few of them in the Versace archives. It is a very notable dress. And in a Vogue video in 2017, where Cindy Crawford showed a tour of her closet, she noted that Kaya, who was like a girl at the time, not yet a woman, she said to Cindy, like, where have you been hiding that? I want that dress. And lo and behold, a couple years after that, in 2019, at Kaya Gerber's 18th birthday party, she held a dress-up party at the Edition Hotel in New York, and she wore a version of that dress. It was a mini version.
Yeah,
but she basically wore the dang dress too, and went to her 2019 18th birthday party, dressed up as her mother from 1992. I mean, how's that for full circle fashion? Guys, I know that was confusing. Go to usmagazine.com/stylish, read all about it, see the photos, see the videos, get the full story.
Get ready for the dresses memoir coming out later this year. Well, my woe of the week had a little bit to do with Miss Kimberly Kardashian and one magic carpet ride she took. Kim Kardashian was on Jimmy Kimmel Live this Wednesday, and she revealed that Pete Davidson gifted her the costumes from their Aladdin-themed skit while they were on SNL. He gave them to her for Valentine's Day.
And the carpet.
Oh, yeah. And then Kimmel asked her, what became of this rug? Do you have this now? It seems like you should. And she says, actually, for Valentine's Day, he got me the rug and the whole outfits and the genie lamp. So I do own the rug. Kim Kardashian said, I had to carry them this huge bouquet of flowers. Like, I can't do a Kim accent.
No, that was Kimmel.
Oh, that was Kimmel.
Kimmel said that the team got a huge bouquet of flowers for like that appearance.
Oh, for the set here. Right. He didn't have to carry that so bad. Yeah. And he says, does this make other boyfriends look bad? Pete Davidson rents out the top of the Carlisle Hotel for Kim Kardashian for Valentine's Day and filled the space with, luxurious flowers and gifts, but also a lovely rug. And if we know Kimberly Kardashian, we know she loves Jasmine. She's dressed up her as Halloween in both the blue and the red, talks about Jasmine related to her. So pretty sweet gift. I sort of liked that. And the rug.
This is the secret to their relationship, because here's Kim Kardashian, who has walked umpteen red carpets. They roll out red carpets just for her. Her life's goal was to go to the Met Gala. Now she's like the most photographed person on the Met Gala red carpet, but ain't nobody giving her a magic carpet but Pete Davidson. So there you have it.
Sweet. And I think it's the first piece of color in her home. It'll be the one thing that's like not beige and white, which I think is very telling of her, personality.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll talk about stuff from the Kimmel interview because of Kravis, which I assume is our first story. But just real quick, I was at ABC special. And it was fine. There was a few good Chloe quotes, which she's not going back to Tristan. Sure, Jan, we believe you. And Kim saying that Kanye, the kids kind of know about what's going on. But the majority of it was almost like an Each Hollywood Story. And they had the audacity to act like we didn't know that Robert Kardashian was how we first met them and about the sex tape and whatever. And I'm like, what are we doing here? It's 2022. We don't need a recap of how the Kardashians became famous. I was really confused at what I was watching. We were back in Paris Hilton's closet for a second. And I'm like, where are we? Who needs this? Who is this for? I was disappointed. But Kimmel, with that 15 minutes, was more entertaining than that whole 45-minute special. Not to slam Robin Roberts, but...
Sorry, Robin, you did not do a good job. Well, the rebound relationship that we can't stop talking about, Pete Davidson, has met the kids. We sort of knew that he met the kids before, but we'll talk about it like it's the first time now. Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian were spotted in a video driving around with Kim's daughter, North, on April 5th. TMZ obtained this video. They were also driving with Penelope Disick in a little pink monkey car around Scott Disick's neighborhood. Scott and Pete were also seen in the same vehicle driving around earlier this month. Kris Jenner actually gave this car to Pete Davidson as a Christmas gift.
I think he gave it to Kim as a Christmas gift, and he's just driving it for some reason.
Maybe she got two of them. She can afford it.
Maybe.
Now, this video of Pete out with North, is surfaced along the time that Kanye posted, a screenshot of him before saying that he would never let Pete meet his kids. This was back in February. So we probably don't think he's that happy about this. But, we heard from a source that the kids love Pete and that Pete is a big kid himself and that he makes them laugh and he is great around the kids. So honestly, I'm happy for them. If you're going to have like a new weird tatted up dad, at least he's funny,
I've been saying from the beginning, all I want out of this relationship is footage of North and Pete. So this blurry photo was like something, but I mean, if we're going to do this, Kimmy, like I need Pete on the show. I need to see the kids interacting. I want to see Penelope and North like teaming up on Pete. And I just think that that's like a hilarious dynamic. And I'm sure he is like decent with the kids because as our source said, like he's a big kid himself in some ways and he's not making the big decisions. But as far as like a fun person to hang out with, I would imagine Pete Davidson would bring something to the table. That's clearly. And I think the relationship with Scott is so fascinating too, because Pete and Scott have become friends. And so much so that, Scott fell asleep at movie night and it inspired Pete to write an SNL song about short ass movies. So it's just bizarre, like the way all roads lead back to the Kardashians as always, but I want to see the Pete Scott dynamic on screen. I want to see North, criticizing Pete's tattoos. I want to see all of it. So I'm hoping that I know season 1, not so much, but season 2 get Pete on screen.
Pete playing with kids and like them playing pranks on him and like reading.
Give me that spinoff. Pete babysits.
Really Pete babysits. I would watch that too. Well, let's get back into Will Smith because there have been some new ongoings. Now, the Academy, if you're nasty, the Academy of Motion Picture or Arts and Sciences is expecting its disciplinary process again against Will Smith over, obviously, his onstage smack of comedian Chris Rock. They called a meeting reportedly this Friday to determine what actions, if any, would be taken. Now, the Academy's Board of Governors was originally set to meet April 18th to discuss possible disciplinary action against Will Smith. But given his announcement last week that he voluntarily resigns his membership from the Academy, the meeting was moved up. The Academy President David Rubin sent a letter to board members saying in light of Will Smith's resignation, quote, suspension and expulsion are no longer a possibility and the legally prescribed timetable no longer applies. It is in the best interest of all involved for this to be handled in a timely fashion. Now, Will Smith has apologized for all of this, but the disciplinary review, so he can still be nominated for Oscars. He can still attend the Academy Awards. He just cannot vote on any of the awards. But the disciplinary action, I'm not quite sure what else they could do if he can still be nominated. Chris Rock didn't want to file a police report, so that's all gone. What do you guys think, if anything, this disciplinary review could do to sort of chastise Will Smith?
I think the whole thing is ridiculous. I think that him resigning from the Academy means absolutely zero. I think that the only way for the Academy to prove that they're actually taking action is if they rescind the Oscar award, which is what they should do. I don't know. This whole thing has been just completely bungled and handled really poorly by the Academy. I'm kind of astonished.
Yeah, I think that's clear. Sarah, what do you think they're going to do? Anything? Yeah. Nothing? He's not going to get community service from the Academy.
Right. It's not like
stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Right. I don't really get what the punishment could be. I think that it's kind of a formality at this point because they flubbed the initial reaction of one letting him stay and accept the award and give that weird speech, to then have that tweet that kind of addressed it, but not really, to then contradict themselves the same way Will Smith kind of did. Like, it's, the whole thing has been handled bizarre. And I mean, if you look into what the initial, like his resigning from the Academy means, it literally means like he might have to try a little harder to get the screiners for the movies. Like,
exactly.
It doesn't
He'll have to have
really,
a friend to email him.
Right. You can still win Oscars. You can still go, if anything, maybe like banned from the Oscars for 5 years or something would be potentially a thing. I don't know if they should take away the Oscar. I think that they definitely shouldn't have let him accept it on that public platform right away. I'm really shocked that we haven't seen a Red Table Talk teaser. The Smiths have done some cryptic posts, but nothing over like a lot of posts. And I think that maybe is just from like how ridiculous the celebrating the night of looked. They're like had a crisis meeting and we're like, let's, you know, be tight-lipped and see what can happen here. But the interest in this is real still. Like it's not going away. And I don't think it's going away anytime soon. So it's definitely bizarre.
Well, I can't wait to see what nonsense they respond with, where they're like, we don't condone this, but nothing is actually going to happen to this. So please enjoy our statement. That means nothing and doesn't do anything to anybody.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some weirdness. You guys, Ezra Miller, who goes by they, them pronouns, is living in Hawaii, and like really, they are causing quite the stir. Ezra Miller was arrested on March 28th for harassment, disorderly conduct, and then was charged and released after posting the $500 bail. This harassment was because he was yelling at people at a karaoke bar because they had the gall to sing "Shallow" by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, and Ezra Miller was very upset, yelling at them and taken away by police custody. It was apparently like a really big fight, and now Ezra is fighting with their neighbors as well. And they allegedly busted into their neighbor's bedroom and started saying, "I will bury you and your," well, in Vegas it would be called a slot, wife, according to a temporary restraining order obtained against Ezra Miller. And Ezra Miller was the subject of 10 police calls in less than 1 month. They allegedly stole a passport, a wallet, a social security card, a license, and now Warner Brothers is having meetings they were supposed to have a Flash movie that starts filming in a few months, but Ezra Miller is going around stealing things, you know, hating Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. It is a weird time for everybody. So I hope Ezra gets the help that they need, because they do not seem mentally well. I get when people do shallow karaoke, it's a little annoying, but it's no reason to hit somebody and go to jail.
Yeah.
No thoughts.
Never the answer.
I don't really know who this person is. I think the story is kind of crazy, but it doesn't affect my life.
Young Dumbledore.
Oh, okay. I actually am reading Harry Potter for the first time, not to,
oh my God, I can't believe you've never read Harry Potter series.
No, I was reading Gossip Girl. I wasn't reading Harry Potter, but I recently watched the movies again and realized that I still don't really get it. So I decided, not that I get the main story, but I was like, what's a Horcrux? And I bought the books and I'm reading them. I'm on the 4th one. I'm enjoying them. So if I ever finish, which they're getting longer, I will maybe look into the Dumbledore ones. Right now I'm on the Goblet of Fire, and you know,
great.
Keep going. You're still in like the ones that you should have read when you were 7.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So keep reading them. You'll understand.
No, this one is big. This one's like this one is
big.
700 pages. So I think I'm at the grown-up girl one by now. But
spoiler alert,
Goblet of Fire
does get lit on fire.
Keep going.
No, I've seen all the movies, so like I know what happens, but there's obviously a lot more backstory in the book. So yeah, not to support, you know, horrible J.K. Rowling, but I did spend $45 in Harry Potter books in 2022. I
mean, girl, can't you? Aren't they at every like local Salvation Army at this point? I think I've seen them on every single thrift store.
I know
they take up so much room in people's homes.
My mom actually just sold ours on Facebook Marketplace right before I went on this journey, and she sold an incomplete set for more than that. So I got a steal.
Oh, okay, good to know. Well, speaking of background in photos, the Queen had a very controversial arrival to a service honoring the late Prince Philip. She was on the arm of Prince Andrew, and she apparently, the Times' Richard Pohl was the only photographer inside of Westminster Abbey for the service of Thanksgiving celebrating life of Prince Philip, who died last year at 99. And this marks the Queen's first public outing since a number of health setbacks, including having COVID-19. And he was apparently told, the photographer, to not photograph the Queen with Prince Andrew. And he told the Times, "Naturally, I balked at the order. To an outsider, this may seem reasonable. What's the problem, you may ask? The Queen should have some privacy in her advanced age. I agree. But when the BBC is broadcasting the entire event to the world, I think they should be able to take a picture as the only official photographer there. How would she arrive? There was some speculation that she might be using a buggy or a wheelchair. If I had to have a picture, I knew the entire British media would be asking why not." Now, officially, when he first went in, he couldn't see the Queen entering. So desperation directed, I do something quickly, he said. As the choir started up, I jumped off my footstool and moved quickly down to the aisle where the queen would walk. Suddenly moving from the position, yada, yada, yada. He got the shot of the Queen, with Queen Elizabeth and Prince Andrew holding arms, seen around the world. And even though Prince Andrew has been stripped of his royal titles for the sexual assault allegations against Virginia, who was a young girl at the time, the Queen's still sweet out with him. And this is a really tricky situation for everyone involved. I get you still love your family, but you've stripped this guy who has been accused of sexually assaulting teenagers in the past, all but confirmed it, sort of paid them off for a while. Really sketchy situation. I feel for the Queen, but walking and holding this guy's arm is really not a great message to send to everybody.
Here's the thing. Very bad optics. However, to celebrate the life of her son's father, I think that optics go out the window. I do fully support the photographer's decision to take the picture.
It's news. Yeah.
Photographic journalists are around for a reason. They're there to document history. And so I think that it was the right thing that he took the picture and the picture was published. Yeah, bad for optics. Andrew's gross. He's also her kid and the son of Prince Philip, who passed away. So I think the chatter about this should just end quickly.
I don't know. I definitely think they should take the picture. I think that Prince Andrew should have, been in the back and not guided her in. And if he was going to be there, snuck in, snuck out. I think it's a bad look overall. And honestly, you can have private, morning. I get it. It's his dad, but also I don't know, sneak in and out of the back or stay home.
Yep.
Walking in through the front door, holding arms with the Queen when you're accused of raping a teenager is just not the move, or just sort of have the decency to go towards the back a little bit, Prince Andrew. I'm sure this will not be the last time that we're hearing about any of this. So Idris Elba just revealed he was, of course, the DJ for the after party. He was on BBC's One Extra Rap show, and Tiffany Calvert inquired about the songs that he played. And Tiffany said, "What's the vibe of a Harry and Meghan wedding? What tune was the one that got everyone going?" And Idris Elba reveals that guest quote went off when Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody played. Obviously, everyone likes that song. And then he added that she played Still DRE by Dr. J featuring Snoop Dogg was another huge hit. And Idris said it was Megan's choice, he said, of the rap song. And he said that there was a lot of West Coast rap, California, Tupac, Dr. Dre. I mean, she's a California girl, but Still DRE I was not expecting that from Meghan Markle. Maybe California Love, maybe something a little more poppy, but Still DRE is sort of a hard song. Honestly, it makes me like Meghan a little bit more. That she's playing hardcore 90s West Coast rap at her reception really sort of turned me around to the lady. I like her style.
I would care if it was 2018. But it's just not. And I don't need to hear details about a wedding from 4 years ago anymore. I just don't care. But congratulations, Megan. Congratulations, Idris Elba. Congratulations, everyone, Snoop Dogg, Run DMC, who are somehow still getting attention off of this wedding from 4 years ago. Good job. Kudos to you.
Good for them. Well, thanks you to my also not aging hosts, Sarah and Gwen, for helping me spill all of this piping hot celebrity this week. Again, this is Travis Cronin on Us Weekly's Hot Hollywood podcast with your weekly peek into the glamour, glitter, fashion, fame of your favorite celebrities. Because after all, guys, at the end of the day, they're just like us. Thank you guys. We'll be back next week.